installment 3 of Where in the World is Reverend Rod? But it's not really Where in the World is Reverend Rod. It's, what is it about, Magic Mike? Magic Mike, we just want to ask you what all this stuff, well, I see a bunch of boxes here. We're not in Salisbury. We're in Cumberland, Kentucky. And this is Cumberland Elementary School. And we just came to do our third part of Where in the World is Reverend Rod, and also tell a little bit about that you're up here through these boxes I have on my left. But we got a special guest today, and we're going to talk a little bit about her. Her name is Jenny Farmer, and she's right over here. Miss Jenny, we're no strangers.
I know.
We've been up here a while now. How long have you been, tell us a little, your title.
I am Cumberland Elementary Family Resource Youth Service Center, and I've been here 38 years. And I actually started out as a remediation teacher, and then I kept moving up until I got into the Frisk.
Now, you've been here 38 years. You started when you were a child then.
No.
Okay.
I'm an old woman.
We're going to talk about that grandparents in a minute. Now, you grew up in this area.
Yes, I did.
And you're one of those ones who came back to serve this area. Tell us why you came back here. I mean, you could have gone anywhere to serve.
Well, I became sick at one time, and the Lord actually brought me back to my area where I was from. And I feel like this is where God put me, is to help serve these children and help them in our community.
Now, you help them in a lot of different ways. Tell us, just give us a typical day or a typical week of all the different kind of things that you do here.
Well, we do backpacks for the weekend for the kids so they have food. Plus, all during when school's going on, we give them clothes, shoes, school supplies. This goes on all day long, in and out of our doors in the office, and we're constantly doing it. So we do community also. We do different programs for the people. We do breast cancer awareness. We do hygiene. We do everything that you can think of to meet our components.
So you just don't work with the kids who come in here. You work with their families.
In the community.
And the whole community.
Yes.
And this is a pretty active community, a pretty far-reaching community also.
Yes.
It goes all over. It goes all over. And I know that we've done some things here. Tell us about what you're going to do with these boxes there.
Okay, we have shoebox gifts. They bring us every year, usually in the spring, and the pandemic hit then, so we had to wait until now. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them in their backpacks and send them home on the bus on Monday when school it's supposed to start back virtual on the 31st. And we're actually going to put them on the bus with the kid's name on their backpack, so they will get these boxes on Monday.
So they have a backpack, they have these boxes. What's so special about these boxes?
Well, the kids get so excited when they get them. They can't wait to get in them. And there's so much stuff in them that they actually never do get to see until you all bring it to them. You know, a lot of them need toothbrushes. I have toothbrushes, but a lot of times they don't ask for them. But when they get them in these boxes, they get excited.
Now, I imagine they get excited about the toys and the candy and
Yes.
stuff like that. Now, but you mentioned the toothbrushes,
Toothpaste.
washcloths and things like that. They get excited over those things?
Yes.
Things that we might take for granted.
Yes.
Some of these kids, it's not taken for granted.
That's right.
All these kids and families and
That's
things
right.
like that. Now, this, tell us a little bit about how different it is this year. You mentioned something about the virtual school. Things are different all over this year,
Yes.
aren't they? You guys have really been put on the spot as far as being very creative. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Well, we created a classroom, me and Lisa. My daughter-in-law's helped me, and it's a picture of me and Lisa as little virtual little people. And we're putting all of our files in like a folders, and they can actually, parents can go in and click on that and fill out the paperwork. It's all virtual, and it's going to be something that we put in their packets every year, but we're going to do it virtual this year.
So a little can we go on and see that?
Yes,
We'd love to
you'll be
see
able to.
that.
I have to give you the password, and you can go on and see it.
Oh, well,
It's a picture of me and Lisa.
I'm sure the people at First Baptist Church want to see this.
It's real cute.
That's got to be
Yeah.
cute. How creative.
Yeah, it's called Google Classroom.
Now, the kids will be able to go online?
Yes.
How do you assure that all the kids are going to go online?
Well, they're going to call, each teacher has to call every one of their students that's on their roster, and what they'll do is they'll ask them if they have a phone, iPhone, a laptop, a computer, or anything that they can get on with. And if they don't, the school and the central office is going to give them a Chromebook. So they will have a Chromebook to work with.
So they not only have to plan the teaching, now they've got to, in addition, plan all this other stuff and calling all their students. That's a labor of love, I tell you.
Yes.
So it sounds like the teachers aren't in it for the money, and you're not in it for the money either.
No, no. I put money into it.
Well, most educators do. Now
Yeah.
tell me, what got you started in all this? I mean, this is an overwhelming task.
Well, I just think that God put me in this position because He knows that I love children, and this was my way of giving back to the children and showing them that we do care about them.
So now you work for a public school here, and you're talking about this being a calling for you. This is a ministry for you. Tell us a little bit more about how it's a ministry and how you've seen what you do minister to children, families, the community.
Well, when the job came open, which is about 20 years ago, I decided that this is what God wanted me to do. And this was more rewarding to me to be able to give instead of receiving. And I just wanted to give them as much as I possibly could in our community. I want to help them at every holiday or any time through the year. But Christmas is very special to us. Me and Lisa both adopt children at Christmas and try to give to them the ones that we know that's not going to get everything that they want for Christmas. And we do that. And I was paralyzed once, and God came to me and told me, I didn't see Him myself, I saw a shadow of Him and I heard His voice. He said, Jenny, you're going to get well and you're going to do something. And I said, God, if you will let me walk again, I will serve you.
So that's how it starts. You take the
Yes.
circumstances that you live through,
Yes.
and those become a real springboard for the ministry that you're called to do. It's an interesting story, and maybe that's how we need to do it, is look at what we go through. Not as curses, not as, God, why is this happening? But God, how are we going to use what we go through?
That's right.
That's great. Now, you've talked a little bit about what you've been through. Are there any prayer requests? A lot of kids watch this. A lot of adults watch this back in Salisbury, North Carolina. What sort of request does Jenny Farmer have for her own family?
Just pray for our whole families that we actually don't get the COVID. Kathy York, her husband's in bad shape. He's still not out of the woods yet. There's several other people that we need to pray for in this area here because it is spreading. It actually is coming here. It's been here at once, and then it went to Everett's, and now it's coming back around here because people are forgetting, that it does exist. This is real.
Now, are you a little worried about when kids come back to school, about what might happen?
Well, we thought we was going to start back the 31st, which I was very excited. I felt like it was going to be okay. But then when we started having more cases in Kentucky, the governor decided to shut it down. But I thought it was going to be really good for the kids because they were going to get a one-on-one, they were going to be about 12 in a classroom. And they were going to only come 2 days a week. And that was one group, and then another group was going to come 2 days a week. And on Friday, it was just going to be virtual. So I thought it was going to work out. But then the governor decided to change it.
The governor's being very cautious. I know
Yes.
that you all were quarantined and handling this situation about 2 weeks before we were in North Carolina.
Yes.
And so your governor, I know, is very careful, and you all are very careful. But we noticed the sign out in front. We miss you. We love you, kids. You really do love these kids.
We do.
And the teachers here that we work with really do love the kids. Well, Jenny, thank you so much for what you do, and thank you for letting First Baptist Salisbury be a small part.
Well, we
of
thank
your
you all
blessing. Well, bless you, Paul.
so much. This is a blessing to all of us.
Well, we get blessed, and so we can bless others. Hi, this is Where in the World's Reverend Rod, and the reason that we're here, we're actually in Greenville, South Carolina. And the reason this is special is really for two reasons. My family and I lived here for about 20 years, 20 years ago. But then this was the place where my friend Frank Black had his gas station right over here. It's changed to a eatery now. But what I was always appreciative of is this spot right here. This is the site of the old First Baptist Church here in Greenville. It says it was organized in 1825. William Boyd Johnson opened inscription to the Baptist meeting house here, which was soon built. A 120 square foot lot was right here. this is where First Baptist Greenville was started. Now that's really important because First Baptist Greenville was one of the first churches in the South, certainly in this state. But even more important than that is actually the beginnings of the Southern Baptist Convention was here. In fact, if you'll come around on the other side of the sign, you'll see something else that's going to be really important about this particular spot. It's one of those signs that really have two meanings for it up here. Now here, I spent some time doing some doctoral work at Southern Seminary, but actually Southern Seminary started right here on this place. It says when Southern Baptist Theological Seminary was organized in 1859, it was organized right here at this place. The old church building was here, and First Baptist moved somewhere else. I mentioned a couple of faculty members, and they're still known around South Carolina here. It moved to Louisville in 1877, but it started right here. Now the important thing about the Southern Baptist Convention and the First Baptist Church, whether it's here or whether it's Salisbury, is that we participate in something called the cooperative program, and that's why I wanted you to hear about it now. As we've talked about Kentucky, as you know about the missions in Salisbury, around the world, many of those missions have something to do with the cooperative program. That's how you're a part of missions all over the world. Some amount of what you give on Sunday morning goes to the cooperative program. And that means that that money not only helps the church, First Baptist Salisbury, but it helps churches and missionaries. It helps spread the Word of God all around the world almost. All around the world. You have a part of that. So when you tuned into Where in the World's Reverend Rod, those are just the places that we can go, whether it be Salisbury or Kentucky or Haiti or Honduras or anywhere in the world. You're a part of that. But you're also a part of it when you give your monies. You and your parents give your monies on Sunday morning to the cooperative program of the Southern Baptist Convention. I'll tell you, that's one of the reasons I became a Baptist. I grew up a Presbyterian and a Methodist and other religions, other faith, other denominations. But I chose the Southern Baptist Convention primarily because how they support missions, how we can all be a part of missions. So when you put the offering in on Sunday morning, just remember that you're a part of sharing the Word of God all over the world with the Southern Baptist Convention that started right here. We'll see you next week on Where in the World is Reverend Rod.